Good morning, my app are back. Here's the plan. It's going to be a phenolic day, or possibly a Phenolic day. Don't know what either of those mean. Till 10 minutes ago, nor did I. Now I've had a little bit of a session with Mr. Google. I'm a leading global expert and I can tell you all about it. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we'll start at the front, where we have a team of 4. And yes, there are only 2 in camera, but trust me, there's 4 of them. So we will be seeing this section, these 2 sections of wall, there you go, there's number 3, going higher. I strongly suspect this will get up to height today. Once that's done, I imagine that forms will start going in at the very least for the 2 columns here that have yet to have concrete, and for the top beam, including on that unfinished section over there. Well, first they'll have to put the beam in, but then maybe we get to forms as well. So once they finish here, and again this may not all happen today, but the plan will be to complete these sections, then come back to this side and put the forms in and the tie beam in for these sections. And I think then we may finish off these sections. Again, that will require removing the tie beam that's in place, putting 2 more levels of concrete hollow block in, and then replacing the tie beam and doing everything that comes with that. And my understanding is after that, then they start going back along this south wall and repeating the process. Remove any beam that's in place, 2 more levels of hollow block, put the beam back, pour everything, repeat all the way back down that side of the property. This looks a bit dark to me. I'll try and brighten it up in the edit. So pretty much anybody who is not involved in the front wall and who is not involved in the work that's going on inside the house is either here or over here. Can't see many of them at the moment. Most of them are off camera, but we have inevitably a huge amount more of cutting and bending and forming of materials, whether it's metal or it might be phenolic board. Back to that shortly. And it will be more of the same in here today. We've got, I think, 12 or 13 guys again inside or on the edge of the house. We're up to a full crew size of 26 today. So they will be continuing with scaffolding, they will be continuing with tie beams, and they will be continuing with phenolic board. Be patient. So there might not be much new to show you in here. It may well just be there's a lot more of what's already in front of you. We'll see. I was wrong yesterday. Phenolic, or as it appears to be called here, at least to my ears, Phenolic, is the wooden material that is being used for the forms. We'll go and have a look a bit closer over by the bunkhouse. Phenolic board. This is what they look like when they come in. This is what they look like when they've been sawed into pieces. And I'll try and show you if it can get in close. You can see the edge. It is basically plywood. In this case, it has 5 layers, and the outer layer is coated using phenolic resin. So why do they use it? It is, amongst other things, pretty straight and level. if it's made right. It is smooth, it is reusable, it is water resistant, although not necessarily completely waterproof. It is highly useful here, quite good apparently as an anti-graffiti material. It's used quite a lot in furniture, indoor and outdoor. It is a material that they can take away afterwards and use it again. The builder says, you know, it is disposable, but basically I'm sure they will aim to use this more than once, because I believe it is relatively expensive. So that is Phenolic board. Not as strong, I am led to believe, as melamine, but the resin does give it a strength beyond uncoated plywood. We don't know exactly what the wood material is. I just asked the brains trust of the builder and the engineer and the lead foreman, and we don't know, but who cares? And that is your lesson for the day. And in case you wanted more, I may have undersold it. I'm reading here, it has a shelf life of more than 20 years. Apart from being water resistant, it's also resistant to fire, cracks, scratches, and as mentioned, graffiti, and can be used both wet and dry applications. They are non-porous panels, non-microbial, resist mold, bacteria, fungi, and mildew. Each board is a smooth, shiny, glossy surface, which adds to aesthetic appeal. Well, it's mid-afternoon. Down here at the front, we have on this side fully up to height. On this side, I think still a couple to go, but almost there. Actually, that might be the full height. We'll have to find out later. So they're now, sorry about the spinning, back on form duty. So form's going in, starting to go in for what will be just here, the people gate. And I imagine they'll start working more, going back across and eventually onto that tie beam. Here at the house, the first thing to see is we have stairs. Well, we have kind of steps. We have access of some description, which I will attempt to use. Not just yet, but probably tomorrow I'll go up there, have a look around. For now, we can see, looking from underneath, this is where the dining room is, and that is now, I think, fully covered. We've got a significant chunk of the kitchen fully covered, and it goes on. There's quite a bit more over at the back, both on this side and on this side. We'll go inside and have a look. So here's a view of Manny we've never had before. The king of the castle up on top. So this area all done. Well, done to the point of putting in this base form. We've got more work going on through here. JR is working on those rebar. The central ones have started to go in. We will get a closer look at that. Here, if we can make it out, we've got where the running beam meets the column, and you can see it's rebar absolutely everywhere. All getting tied in. And we've got the start of those centre rebar going across the beam. And I think you could probably make out the rebar do run through the column. There's no joining or splicing of rebar at that point of the column. It's the end of the day. The end of the emotional roller coaster that was Phenolic Day. And yes, if you can hear behind me, there is still work going on. I shall go and find out in a moment what's happening. But we got a lot more of those forms going in. We got a staircase of sorts, which now, I can't remember earlier, but certainly now has a handrail. So we'll be giving that a try tomorrow and have a look up top. Let's see what else has been done around here. And yes, we have a little bit of OT going on. We've got a crew of about 6, including Ronwell here, who's working on more stirrups, yet more. And Manny's still around, and he's just got back in the diggerator, so presumably the wheel has been fixed. Apart from that, there's nothing else that was finished, or nothing noticeable more was done on the front wall. So, we're going to call it a day. You better all go and have a sit down. Those fascinating insights into Phenolic must have left you drained. Or by this point, I'm entirely talking to myself because everyone's switched off. Right, see you tomorrow.